Hi everybody, welcome to today's reading. You may feel like there's a lot going on and you just can't find your way forward. It just seems like everywhere you look there's some kind of block, whether that's physical, emotional or mental. And this is the change in the energy from June to July. So June was about that kind of spiritual connection and really working with that. And July is about recognizing the importance of the others in our lives. And that can be really annoying because let's just think about that for a moment. Not only from the aspect that we try to fix or change other people and how hard that is, but also if that's the energy, they're feeling that too. So they're wanting to change us. So it's kind of like, sort of battle of the titans, isn't it? So can we accept them as part of the change that we're wanting without wanting to change them? So just thinking like, how do you fit into my life? How are we going to work on this together? So there are new challenges on the horizon, and are you prepared to do that by yourself, or do you want those others in your life? So this is what Spirit is saying. So to look at people through an unconditional lens sounds easy. I've got the hiccups. Sorry. It sounds easy, doesn't it? But it is a definite challenge. Oh, for goodness sakes. How can I get the hiccups as soon as I turn the recording on? Okay. Just asking Spirit to take them away. See if that works. That'll be funny, won't it? Okay, so you know the deal. I pick one card for each of the months, and the reading for you is the month of your birthday. So we start in April because April is the beginning of the energy year. April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, and one for all of us. So here we go. This is definitely showing the sense of connecting. I mean, how can we do anything without connecting? We're spiritual beings. We need to take a moment in the morning. There's people who say, make your bed first thing in the morning, put your feet on the ground and say that I'm going to have a beautiful day. Well, yeah, that could be true. It could be useful for you, but usually someone's still lying in my bed, so I can't make the bed. I've got to wait for later. So, we all have different ways of starting the day is what I'm saying. So when we connect, when you lie in bed and you open your eyes, have that moment of, you don't need to go into, yoga pose to engage with spirit. So you can just lie in bed, with your eyes closed and be like, oh, this is what I got on today. Please help me with it, spirit. This is my challenge with my son, my daughter, my aunt, my uncle, my partner, my whatever it is, right? And so talk to spirit about what's happening for you. Just imagine that this little ball of light is above you, and they're like, ooh, 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 well, we can see what we can do about that. So this is what spirit is talking about, and talking about your goals. Like where are you headed? Okay, so spirit says that there's a really good opportunities coming for you, and it's just taking a moment to pause before you take the action. Okay, April babies. April babies, this is very much some kind of plan, goal, project, thing that you've been working on. It's something you really want. It is going to happen. It's just going to take time. It's just like, when somebody wants to fall pregnant and then they get pregnant, then they've got to wait 9 months or 8 months or whatever, 7 months, depends when you found out. But like, that's, it takes time for good things to appear in our lives. So keep working on it. Don't give up. This is a building of your self-esteem in some way. And perhaps you put it on the back burner. And because we're heading towards the Mercury retrograde during July, it could actually be a time for you to put that on your desk. Okay, April, May babies. Things are starting to shift, and out of the shitola that you have been experiencing, it might feel like you've been super busy. You haven't been able to think about your goals, your priorities, your future. And so Spirit is saying that now you're going to feel like you can take back control. You're telling people what you want. You're not in any BS anymore, and you're going to do it your way, and it's going to be quite unique. So whatever you've decided, you're going to do it with a kind of best for the community or best for yourself or best for society kind of thought process. I want to do this not just for myself, but because it's something that fulfills you and those around you. June babies. So, June babies, you might have noticed that you've been, and you always have a tendency of this because a lot of you are Geminis. Um, this is kind of the sense of, I'm this and then that. I'm happy, I'm sad. I'm not sure what I'm feeling. And so Spirit is saying that they're really trying to help you kind of find that balance back into like, actually, I'm okay. So they're inviting you to pull yourself up when you feel yourself feeling that stress or anxiety come across you. Like someone might say something, or someone might shout around you, or something might happen that feels a little bit negative around you, and you're like, oh, and it puts you in that space. But Spirit says, just remember, hang on, I'm okay. And to go back into that positive, like, I'm okay. What I'm focusing on is this, okay? Rather than getting caught up and flowing into that negative, because that's really easy to happen for you. July babies. Yeah. So focusing on your children or focusing on young people around you could be really important. But also, I'm impressed to say that there's some kind of goal that you've been thinking of, and it just keeps niggling at you. You think, oh, maybe next year, or maybe next month, or whatever it is. Some kind of little goal that actually, then when you do it, it's just a little goal. And then when you do it, it kind of leads to another thing, another thing, another thing, and it you start to realize, actually, I really like doing that. Yeah, I'll just do a little bit more of that. So Spirit's like encouraging you to start on that little goal, because it's going to end up guiding you in the direction of your future. July, August babies. August babies, you feel like people are not noticing you. You feel like you're putting on a happy face, and yet, there's more to life. And what's holding you back from thinking about the future? There's something kind of feeling a little bit scary with you getting caught up in the politics on the planet at the moment. But it's okay for you to speak up. It's okay for you to, take that cloak that's kind of protecting you and be like, oh God, I'll just stay here, I'll just stay alone. But Spirit's like, put yourself out there. You know that feeling of when you're invited to go to a party and you're like, I don't want to go. But then you go and you have a good time and you're like, wow, lucky I went. So it's a bit like that. Spirit's kind of saying, like, don't stay hidden, put yourself out there, because it's going to really work. So whether that's like, oh, don't apply for a job because whatever, Spirit's like, no, put yourself out there, it's going to work out. Okay. September babies. Well, of course, September babies, you are very much still in the June energy, where you're like, yes, I will meditate every day. Yes, I will pull a card every day. Very good. Because this is building your self-esteem, because you know you are connecting to your spirit team. And so therefore, this is working out really well for you. October babies. October babies, you're confused about the future. And you know what? When you're confused about the future, who comes around you but Spirit? And you know what Spirit says? You're confused about it because you're not taking time to really think about yourself and amongst it, or you're thinking about it and it's just not being clear. So you know what the best thing to do when things are not clear is not make any changes. Ask Spirit to help you, show you the potential changes. And did anyone notice that my hairs did go? Thank you, Spirit. November babies. This gives me a bit of dad energy. Dad, he sees the goal, he reaches the goal, and then he sees another. So, feel like there's, things happening where you feel like you've got a male spirit around you, or you're actually having some issues with your parents. But I feel like there's some kind of strategy that's coming into it. Yes, Spirit was talking about that before I started today. So some kind of strategy that you're going to be putting in place that's going to really help this person feel cared for, and yourself cared for. December babies. This is the new chapter. I mean, you've been looking forward to it. You wanted it. You've planted the seeds, and it's about to happen. You might start out looking like her, and then you might end up looking like her. It doesn't matter. There's some kind of change that's happening with it, and you're going to go down that path because you want to. So whatever that path is that you've been like, oh, should I? Spirit's like, yes, you definitely should, and you are ready. January babies. Well, this is funny because I am a January baby, and this is, parents perhaps looking after their baby, and at the moment I am assisting one of our children to move into their new house, so that's nice, isn't it? So yes, and the old boy Ross is also helping me with that. So this is very much family working together to achieve a goal. And it may not be a family, it could just be you and someone else, but it's working together to achieve a goal, and it's a long-term goal, which is quite reassuring that whatever you're doing is worth it. February babies. February babies. Classic that you're feeling like, oh, I shouldn't have said that, I shouldn't have said that, I shouldn't have done that. And Spirit's like, you are worrying about the smallest things, stop it. And it puts me in mind of like whether you've been not being able to sleep very well, or you've been having weird dreams, and you wake up going, oh my God, that was about me doing this or that, and I shouldn't have done it. And whatever it is, Spirit's like, no, you're over analyzing it, and this is about trying to get you back on track. Remember, and I say it all the time, these people down here are your cheer club. They're really happy that you're moving forward in the direction that you are. You're looking at the wrong people. If somebody's telling you you're doing something wrong, think about their motive. All right, March babies. There you are. You didn't want to, but you are now a leader. Yeah. So you may have thought, oh no, I'll let somebody else do the leading, but no, Spirit's like, no, you are going to do the leading. So there you go. And you are very good at making lists, because otherwise you're hopeless without a list. Let's just be clear. You need lists. You need a diary. You need a plan. So, and it's going to really help your self-esteem, and people will love the way you roll. And on that note, I hope you have a wonderful weekend.